Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Empowered Self podcast. Wherever you are listening, maybe out for a walk, on the bus, or making a cup of tea, or perhaps you're curled up somewhere cozy, I'm so glad you're here with me today. We're in December now, and there's something about this month that just naturally invites reflection. The year begins to wind down and the world will feel a little quieter as the end of December draws near. And we get a chance, even a gentle nudge, to look back and honour everything we've lived through this year. And today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take a moment to reflect on the first 5 months since this podcast launched. The stories, the guests, the lessons, the moments that shaped me, and the parts of this journey that have changed me in ways I didn't expect. I'll also be sharing what's coming in the new year, including coaching sessions, group workshops, my reset rituals, and many more. Because this next chapter is something I'm truly excited about. So as always, before we begin, let's take a breath together. Settle in and let's begin. When the Empowered Self podcast launched in August, I genuinely had no idea of what to expect. I had no idea if people would listen or if my voice would land with anyone, or even whether or not I'd be brave enough to keep going. But beneath all the uncertainty was something quiet and steady. This inner knowing that it was time to create a space for real stories, real emotions, and honest conversations. I remember the first time I hit record, I was absolutely terrified. My heart was hammering and I had to restart the intro so many times. I lost count. But when I finally stopped trying to sound perfect and just spoke, really spoke, something shifted. I realized I don't want to perform. I wanted to connect. And that has guided me the entire podcast since. The journey began small, but it grew. Through every episode, every conversation, every story, and every moment when someone messaged me saying, I felt that. Over the past 5 months, I've been joined by incredible guests, each one bringing their own truth, their own heartbreak, their own resilience, their own wisdom. So let me honour a few of those people who shaped the very first season of the Empowered Self podcast. Back in August, we launched with a guest, Lucy Cronley. Lucy's courage, her story, and her gentle strength touched me. The way she talked about resilience, motherhood, empowerment, it reminded me that courage often shows up softly, not loudly. And she also talked about being your own best friend. We also had Ona O'Keefe. Ona's story carried a spiritual depth, trauma, healing, reconnection. She spoke with raw honesty, and there was something sacred about that conversation. She reminded me that healing isn't pretty, but it's powerful. Maria Gillen, my dear friend Maria, brought emotion, heritage, identity and expression. Her storytelling had weight, and I carried her words with me long after we stopped recording. Then we had others, Liz, Mary-Louise and Christina. Each one added a different colour, a different story, a different form of bravery, resilience, wellness and trusting your own intuition and allowing yourself to be authentic, to be your authentic self. These episodes taught me to listen differently, to honour silence, to let emotion breathe, and to hold those stories with care. Every guest changed me in some way, and I'm deeply grateful for every single one of them. Hosting this podcast didn't just teach me about other people. It taught me so much about myself. And in a strange way, it also reminds me who I've always been. Because long before this podcast existed, I had already spent over 17 years working as a training facilitator, delivering workshops in person and online thanks to the pandemic, sessions like public speaking, youth leadership programs, community-based programs, working with organisations and groups from all walks of life. In my current role within a large organisation, I deliver on topics in self-awareness, boundaries, emotional well-being, communication, personal development, and so much more. And beyond all of that, for many years, I've supported learners in coaching and mentoring capacity, helping them to build their confidence, move towards their goals, discover their own strengths, and overcome their barriers, find their voice, and move towards their aspirations. Supporting people has always been at the heart of what I do. And completing my NLP practitioner training in January, that's neuro-linguistic programming, will no doubt deepen all of this even further. NLP gave me new insights, new tools of understanding the mind, communication, thought patterns, emotional responses, and the ways people change. It helped me refine how I listen, how I ask questions, and how I support transformation. And when this podcast began, something clicked. I realized that every single thing I've done over the past 17 years, the workshops, the public speaking, the leadership programs, the mentoring, the NLP work, was preparing me for this space. A space where people share their stories, a space where emotions are honoured, a space where vulnerability becomes strength, a space where connection is the foundation. And what I learned about myself is this: my purpose hasn't changed. It's simply expanded. Whether I'm facilitating a workshop, coaching a client, supporting a learner, or sitting behind the microphone. My purpose has always been to help people become more themselves, to feel seen, supported, and understood. That's what this podcast taught me. and what it confirmed for me. As we move into a new year, I feel a shift, a gentle one, not pushy, not rushed, just a sense of opening, a sense that the podcast is growing into something a bit bigger, a community, a space where we can gather, reflect, heal and grow. And that brings me to what's coming in 2026. What I'm offering in the new year is free one-to-one coaching sessions for a limited time. As I am a student myself in UCC, I need to provide some hours, free hours of one-to-one coaching sessions. And this is a confidential, supportive space for clarity, direction, emotional grounding, inner growth, and so much more. I'll also be delivering group coaching sessions. These will be gentle, inclusive sessions focusing on topics such as self-awareness, boundaries, emotional resilience, confidence, values and purpose, and others. I'll also be introducing my Krystal reset rituals. These are my own reset rituals I have developed over time. Things like grounding, breath work, reflection, intention setting, and more that I will be delivering to you. And then there's the creation of a wellness toolbox workshop, helping you build your own emotional first aid kit. And there will be many more things popping up in 2026. This is just to give you a sense of what's coming and a flavour. All of this is my way of giving back to you, of supporting people, of offering tools and spaces for anyone wanting a softer start to the new year. Before we close, let's take a moment, a breath, and ask yourself, what am I proud of this year? What did I carry that nobody saw? What changed in me? What do I want to let go of? What do I want to bring forward into the new year? Whatever arises, honour it. Thank you truly for being part of these first 5 months. I can't believe this is the end of season 1 and I'm embarking on season 2 in the new year. Thank you for listening, for sharing, for supporting the guests, for supporting me, and for being part of this growing community. This podcast has become something deeply meaningful, and I'm so excited for what the next chapter will bring. I will be back very soon, sometime in January, with more stories, more honesty, more connection, and more heart. And if you are interested in sharing your stories on the podcast, do reach out by emailing me on empoweredselfpodcast@gmail.com, or you can private message me on any of my socials. Until then, take care, mind your heart, and let December be gentle with you.